antique slot machine. We are going to be doing some live art, and let's see. Hey everybody, what's up? And we are live again. Sorry about YouTube being strange. And today instead of playing some antique slot machines, we are going to be doing some live art requests. So let's see what we can draw. And to start, we're just going to be doing some Disney villains. Until we're going to be doing some Disney villains. And let's see who comes on in today. Most times while I wait for people to come on in, I just tend to do like some random doodles. And once I start seeing your requests, that's when I do your requests. So here we go. Let's start with Maleficent right now, because she's always the one winning in the villain show in Disney's Hollywood Studios. Mama Medua. And by the way, the Hollywood Tower Hotel is the best thing on the planet. And also, by the way, I'm actually a lot more active on my other channel, Tony O Tower. That's where I showcase all of my Disney. That's where I showcase most of my Disney artwork and Tower of Terror trivia. Over here, this is where all my non-Tower of Terror Disney stuff, Disney content, and live streams do live. Hey, Mike B, it's so good to see you. How are you doing today? And right now, we are drawing Maleficent. I also do see that you got a music festival coming up, and I definitely would love to see that too. I'm glad to hear. And right now we're just drawing a bunch of random villains. So I'm probably thinking, since I don't have very much going on lately, and it's too hot to do anything outdoors, then I'm probably going to come on here every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and do like some live art. So do you have like a favorite Disney villain by chance? And does anybody have any live art requests that you would love to see me drawing? Otherwise, I'm just going to keep drawing a bunch of random Disney villains with too many fingers. Oops. Sorry, ChatGPT. Hey CGL, good to see you. Woo! And that is so neat, Mike. I'm curious if you don't mind me asking, who is the local band? I actually forgot to ask that, but now I'm like really curious. Mama Medua, Mama Medua. I know it's kind of random, but I did update the channel membership emojis. I used to have just a bunch of slot machine references, but I did change them to change them to Bellhop Stitch and some Tower references too, along with Tiggle and Bellhop Goofy. So that's just kind of like a random plug. Sweet. I'm curious about what is Radio Days most known from, and do they have like a top hit song by chance? Hey CJL, how are you doing? So good to see you. Mama Medua. I wish that there was a way to have I wish that there was like a way to have some non-copyrighted chill music going on in the background. Yeah, this way you would all have something to listen to when I'm doing some artwork. And also for me personally, I forgot I was going with that, but for me personally, and I lost my monorail thoughts again like usual. And for those who are wondering, because I'm and for those who are wondering about the antique slot machine, I'm actually going to be getting rid of like the antique slot machine since it no longer has any use or purpose in my life anymore. It was actually a lot of fun when I had it, but I've actually not played the machine for at least over a month, and and for me personally, I just feel kind of and I honestly feel kind of just burned out and bled towards slot machines right now. And the antique slot machine no longer holds, unfortunately, the antique slot machine no longer holds any of my interest right now. And it's kind of unfortunate too, but it does bring up some really bad memories at times. So that's why I'm actually gonna be donating it so that the slot machine can have it, so that the slot machine can have like a better life and can actually be loved and enjoyed again. It honestly does. It honestly reminds me of Toy Story when Andy was donating all of his toys, especially the toys that he had for like 15 years. So I feel like I'm definitely living a Toy Story, but instead of a Toy Story, it's a slot machine story. Of all things, once I get rid of the slot machine, I'm definitely going to miss the slot machine, and it's going to be something that I will always like. It is going to be something that I will deeply miss. But yeah, at the same time, I just want the slot machine to like feel like it's having like a better life rather than just sitting in my room just like doing nothing. Yeah, that does definitely hit me really hard right now, especially since Toy Story was one of the very first movies I watched besides Finding Nemo and Winnie the Pooh. And I also do apologize if I'm not as talkative as I usually am today. It's been really hot, and it's been like really hot outside because of the ozone. And sometimes like the ozone, it kind of makes talking a little blur, which is why I've also not been doing very many Tower of Terror videos lately, just because my voice sounds like a frog. And hopefully when it starts cooling down in the evenings, that's when I'll be able to come back out and go live outside, along with showcasing them, along with talking about the Hollywood Tower Hotel. Alright, so here we go. We got ourselves Cruella, Maleficent, the Evil Queen, and not the underdog. The underdog of them all, Captain Hook. Here comes Captain Hook. Not Captain Chris Kringle. Oh, I forgot the name of him, but he was like on the cereal box Popeye, not Popeye either. But here comes Captain Hook. Whenever I watch the villain show, I always hope for Captain Hook to win. And even though Maleficent always be taken spite, no matter how loud you cheer for Hook, it just seems like very predetermined. As if Disney does a lottery to see what villain will win that day. It feels very predetermined. Mama Medulla, Mama Medulla. I'm actually thinking about trying to break the world record for me saying the word Mama Medulla the most consecutive times in a row. So I'm probably gonna break it. I'm definitely gonna be breaking that world record where I say Mama Medulla, Mama Medulla, and it's gonna be like a Tower challenge. Hey Amy, it's so good to see you. How are you doing? And that is so neat that they do cover songs like Walking the Egyptian, Love Shack. We're doing the Love Shack. Right now, it's like randomly rambling about stuff and what I'm thinking about. Rambling and not. So we got ourselves some Captain Hook, and here are the villains. Yeah, same way, Amy. It's just been really hot and just very, very unpleasant outside. So I've just been staying inside doing some live art instead. Oh, unfortunate souls. I know it. Next up, we're gonna be doing ourselves some bellhop stitch, right? Not. I'm not sure where, but whenever I see Stitch Love, the first thing I want to do is draw Stitch. So here we go, bellhop stitch. Woo! Bellhop stitch, stitchy, stitchy. Not bell stitch, bellhop stitch. Go, go, gadget, go, go, Souch. Here we go. Bam, look at that. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. That means a lot to hear. Stitchy Stitch. I'm not sure why, but this picture of Stitch always gets me laughing so much, and here it is. Oh my gosh. And on Sunday, we are actually going to be making a Play-Doh rendition of the Hollywood Tower Hotel. So we're going to actually try to make this out of Play-Doh on Sunday. Not sure why, but here we go. So does anybody have any guesses of what Stitch is doing so far? You're very welcome. And I'm not sure, but whenever I see your name, I'd be like doing Stitch. And also same, whenever I see Richard's name from Disney Magic and Mayhem, I'd be doing him like a Tiggle, or like a Lightning McQueen ka-chow. Ka-chow. So yeah, so it's definitely gonna be a lot of challenge. It's definitely gonna be a challenge since I've not used Play-Doh for like at least like 9 years. Last time I used Play-Doh was when I was 5 years old, and actually not 5, but when I was like 2. And my mother thought that I would literally just like use it. My mother was like, so you got my kid a snack. Lo and behold, I'd be making Play-Doh figurines. That was before I could hold a pin in my hand. And I've not touched Play-Doh for like years, so wish us luck as we make ourselves a Play-Doh tower thingy. I always forget that Stitch. I always forget that Stitch be wearing a bellhop outfit. And if Disney ever has to retheme the Tower of Terror, I would really love for it to be a Stitch theme, where Stitch really had tried to like literally escape Stitch or stop Stitch from like creating chaos in the hotel in the elevator rooms. I'll definitely take a Stitch Tower theming, or give him a Muppets like Hotel Happiness. Oops, sorry Stitch, I gave you 5 toes instead. So, I present to you ChatGPT Stitch. Extra fingers, extra toes. What a day. And what's really strange is that on some towels has stitch pins that the bellhop hat has like 4 stripes, but on most pins it only has 1 giant stripe going through the middle. We definitely live in some pretty strange times. And also it was made clear that Stitch don't have pupils, but here is sorry, but here's Stitch with pupils. Oh, let's do that, Daddy. Woo! Towel. Let's do it. And now, speaking of which, let's draw Tiggle for Disney Magic Mayhem if he happens to be here. I really love. This is a pin I'd really. This is a pin I'd really love to have someday. A Service Elevator Stitch. So let's draw Tiggle. So here we go. I'm also not sure how did Stitch even become part of the Tower series, besides the fact that he's a mischief alien. So here we go. Bam. Let's see how we're gonna draw Tiggle. It's been a hot minute since I drawn Tiggle. Another thing I've noticed about Tiggle is that whenever you're sketching Tiggle, it actually is kind of encouraged to have the lines overlap, just to make him look like a storybook character. I once got into some massive trouble over carving Tiggle and Pooh on a mom's kitchen table. That was like back in 2000. That was like back in 2005, and I was in so much trouble that I wasn't even sure if the Easter Bunny was coming that night. So I spent my Easter Eve trying to clean up Tiggle and Pooh from the table, and writing profuse apology notes to the Easter Bunny saying, "I'm so sorry. I wasn't sure what I was thinking. I just carved Tiggle and Pooh on the table." Another really wild thing is that whenever I talk, another thing I noticed here is that whenever I start talking a lot, people tend to go poof. But the moment I stay very quiet, people tend to come back in. So I just begin to wonder. So that's really strange. It's like literally the moment I start talking, everybody disappears. But then the moment I stay very quiet, poof, everybody reappears. That's a really good point. If they go poof, then poof. There you go. I have noticed that since I was like 17, and that as I meant since I was like 18, and that's when I really started posting a lot on YouTube. Is the moment that I do any talking in like a stream mode video. That's when that's when people go poof. But yet when I say very quiet, that people tend to watch. I just kind of wonder if it's like my speech or something to do with the fact that I have a really high pitched voice. That I have like a really high pitched voice, and that kind of blows speaker, and that can really blow the speaker out. Yeah, honestly, sometimes I wish I had a deeper voice. Beyond it, you are about to discover what lies beyond the fifth dimension, beyond the deepest, darkest corners of the imagination and the Tower of Terror. I mean, not honey. You are the passengers of the most uncommon elevator ride about to ascend into your very own episode of the Twilight Zone. One stormy night long ago, 5 passengers boarded an elevator, unaware of what was to come. These doors are about to open once again, and this time they're opening for you. Hollywood, 1939. The Hollywood, among the hustle and the bustle of a new movie town, the Hollywood Tower Hotel served as a beacon for the show business elite. Yada yada yada. I forgot a lot of the words. A warm welcome back to those who made it, and a friendly reminder. Next time you check into a deserted hotel in the dark side of Wood, Hollywood, you never know what kind of vacancy you're feeling, and you could become a permanent resident of the Twilight Zone. Something that you could become, something that's not found in any vacation guide. That is honestly high talk. Mama, me do that. Yep, I do. I also do talk about the fifth dimension and the Tower of Terror a whole lot. And I do wish that Disney would do like another feature length for Winnie the Pooh film. And you know what's kind of sad about one of the Winnie the Pooh, the 2011 Winnie the Pooh feature length animation films, is it did not make the film as long, and the justification was that kids would not sit through a very long film. However, Disney be producing 90-minute long car movies, so Disney be expecting everybody to sit through the Pixar films, but not the Winnie the Pooh film. I would have sat through 90 minutes of Winnie the Pooh. Hello, DreamWorks. It's good to see you. How are you doing? And do you have any live out requests that you would love for us to draw today? One of my very favorite cartoon characters to draw in the Winnie the Pooh series is Baby Woo. So not let's draw Baby Woo. Baby Woo. I'm not sure, but he always reminds me of Christmas and a Christmas tree. Not a Christmas tree, but he always reminds me of somebody who would really love decorating a Christmas tree. It's kind of a weird association I have. And I've also realized that this channel here that I'm live from right now has gone through a lot. First, it was a Slot Machine channel. Then, it was a disability advocacy channel. And now it's back to an art/Disney channel. An art/Disney fandom channel. I don't even know what the heck. I honestly don't know what the heck this channel is ever going to become. It used to be a Slot Machine channel, not anymore. Then it used to be a lifestyle channel, and now it's a Disney art channel. So honestly, I'm not sure what this channel is ever going to become. Pardon me. Oh, thank you so much, Dream. That means a lot. I'm not sure about Piglet's, but the shape of Piglet's head reminds me of Olaf. It's very interesting how much in common Disney animation characters tend to have with each other. Just to make it easier on the animators and for merchandise. Sorry about my cough. Definitely the air outside, very dusty. Oh, thank you so much. And do you have and I'm curious, Dreams, but do you have a favorite cartoon character by chance? I'm not sure about Piglet. I'm not sure about Piglet reminds me of Ray from Princess and the Frog, especially with the drawing style. I just noticed that Leo does not have any pupils either. Actually, that Leo does have pupils, but not Stitch. Stitchy Stitch. I just noticed that one of the Stitch aliens is actually a bellhop. And Cow Chase is asking, if you can do Snoopy. Absolutely. Here we go. Woo! Our very first non-Disney character of the day. And here we go, Snoopy. So what makes Snoopy kind of tricky to draw is that he's very simple, but if you mess up one of the lines, he looks very often awkward. So here we got our Snoopy. Hello, how are you doing? And do you have a very favorite animation or cartoon character? I understand, Amy. It's okay to be very quiet. I get very quiet when I do art too sometimes. So we got ourselves a Snoopy, but not. Let's do Snoopy justice and draw him a little bit and draw him. Let's draw Charlie Brown and let's draw Snoopy together. Mama Medulla. And do you know that the author behind the Peanuts cartoon did not actually like the name did not like the name the Peanuts, but he ended up sticking with it just because of the newspaper publication. And here we go, coming in, going once, going twice. Here comes Charlie Brown and Snoopy. Woo! And yes, right after we do Charlie Brown and Snoopy, we can definitely do Tinkerbell because you can fly, allegedly. So here we go, Charlie Brown, one of the trickier characters, just because of how few lines he is. And a lot of people think that drawing Charlie Brown is very easy and very straightforward. In reality, just like what I did, if you mess up one of the lines, you're done. And you don't have very much. And what really impresses me is how the animators were able to get Charlie Brown so accurate in the 60s, even without any computer technology. And Couch K Chase says, do you go live? Do you go live with your drawings a lot? If yes, I'll subscribe. Yes, I do go live with my artwork. I used to not go. I took like a long break from this channel, but I'm gonna be doing at least one live art stream a week. But hopefully we're gonna get to do it. Hopefully we're gonna be doing it so that we basically do this every day, even if we draw just a bunch of random characters and just this. I forgot where I was going with that monorail. Thoughts. So yep, we're definitely going to see if we can go live a lot more often on this channel, at least once a week, or maybe like maybe a couple times a week. And thank you so much. Oopsie, Snoopy's. Well, I messed up with Snoopy. Another trick about Snoopy I found is not overthink Snoopy, and just to go for it with your pen strokes. Otherwise, you get some kind of bleh. Aww. Another interesting thing is when I forgot the name of the cartoonist, but he was like the reason I came up with the Peanuts style is one of my art classes had me draw everything in the simplest style possible, and that is how I came up with the Peanuts. That's what I recall the author talking about. Boop, bam, bam. Here we go, Charlie Brown. Hey James, it's so good to see you. Woo! It is, and thank you so much, Couches. Aww. Another thing is that YouTube does not always send out notifications. So sometimes you do have to. So sometimes that means that you might end up having to watch the replay, or that you might end up having to watch the replay, and that I might end up having to watch the replay, and that YouTube will sometimes only send you a notification halfway through the stream, just as a heads up. How are things going for you in Alaska? So here we got Tribon, Snoopy, and the doghouse. So not, I nearly forgot the bush just because a Tribon scene is not complete without a bush and a kite. Boop. So here we go, let's go fly a kite. Even though it's kind of part of the evil kite tree. Bam. So here we got ourselves a Charlie Brown scene, including a kite and not an evil kite tree quite yet. And next up for Hazel, we're going to be drawing Tinkerbell. Mama Medulla, Mama Medulla, Mama Medulla. So here we go. Think of the happiest thoughts. Think of fairy, think of Christmas, think of me as you can fly, you can fly, you can fly. I used to have like a book about how to draw all the Peter Pan characters. Unfortunately, that got lost to time. Beauty and the Beast, a tale as old as time. And YouTube also be having a fit about this channel. I'm not sure who to promote it to, just because it's been so many different things so rapidly. Yep, Tinkerbell has been walking out today. Sometimes when I draw Tinkerbell, I accidentally make her seem like as if she's walking out. Yeah, here's Tinkerbell getting fit in the gym. With a little hope, faith, and trust in pixie dust, here's Tinkerbell in the gym. Of all things, when it comes to Disney characters, one of my weaknesses is drawing princesses, but we should definitely suffice and we should definitely learn. We should definitely overcome. I just can't seem to get the hair or the eyes right. So here we go. That's why we got Tinkerbell walking out. So I do on how cold does Anchorage, Alaska get? How cold does Anchorage, Alaska get during the... Yeah, how cold does Anchorage, Alaska get during like September or during the winter? I have a confession to make. Speaking of Tinkerbell, you want to see how I used to draw Tinkerbell. So this is Tinkerbell walking out. This is the actual picture of Tinkerbell. But this is how I used to draw Tinkerbell. So you start with a circle. Put a little smile in the circle. Fill it in the mouth. Put a little nose, and then just do this. That's her dress. And just put her hand and just like draw like this. And she'd be flying. That's my confession of the day. This is how I used to draw Tinkerbell. And then I just put her shoes on. The little puffs. I kinda wonder why Tinkerbell has little puffs on her shoes. And these are her wings. I make sure to give her really big wings so she can fly really, really fast. And here's a wand sprinkled pixie dust all over everything. And there's actually a rumor. There's actually a rumor that back in 1971, when Disney World first opened, that Tinkerbell would actually disperse real pixie dust on the guests. But unfortunately, one too many guests must have complained and said that either the child or that the wallet actually flew away. So my best guess is that Disney literally had to stop having Tinkerbell spray all the pixie dust on the Main Street USA, and that's why nobody is flying around ever after fireworks anymore. Allegedly, in my opinion. And now here's a bellhop alien from Leo and Stitch. Thank you so much, Carl Chase, and you're very, very welcome. I can be a hot mess express sometimes, but yeah, but I do like to do a bunch of artwork. Here's one of my very favorite Stitch aliens, just because he wears a bellhop outfit. Mama Medulla. And next up, after we draw this alien dude, we're gonna be drawing an angel, because Leo and Stitch is not complete without angel. You love life. I forgot the Elvis song, but there was like an Elvis song in Leo and Stitch. God, you love like the devil, something. And I always wanted to see I always wanted to see the Stitch movie in theaters, but I've never gotten to. And I also know it's random, but I have no interest in going back to Global Gaming Expo as of now. Unless I'm invited back, I won't be going back. Unfortunately, at Global Gaming Expo, you used to be able to film a bunch of like new games coming out, but just because of how strict they've gotten with recording, my here is actually not worth going anymore. So I probably won't be going to Global Game Expo unless I'm invited. I'll get like a media pass. Just kind of roll off a random side tangent. And I know YouTube people like struggling to promote the channel just because YouTube's not sure. Just because YouTube's not sure what direction the channel's going on. It's been all over the map. So here we got next up. That I saw something here, Amy. I'm curious, but what do you think the second Lilo and Stitch is going to be about? I really hope that's a sequel. I really hope that is a sequel. And you know what's kind of ironic is I actually have a pair of Lilo and Stitch and Angel shoes. I'd love to see Lilo and Stitch on IMAX. Same with Toy Story 5. I never got to see Toy Story 5 in theater just because of timing. Yeah, I was really hoping to go, but I couldn't. But I did not get tickets in time. Pardon me. I'm so glad to hear. I would love to see a live action Angel. I'm curious, but how does Stitch meet Angel? Stitchy Stitch. One of the most notable Stitch scenes I've ever seen. One of the scenes from Lilo and Stitch that really stand out is when Stitch was trying to escape the security guards, and he literally was stuck upside down in a security guard pod, and Stitch began spitting in Stitch realized that the machine would follow where Stitch was, so he began spitting on the guard playing cards, and lo and behold, the machine would after the guard, and then Stitch got away. That scene used to terrify me, but now it makes me laugh thinking about Stitch running away. Happily ever after. Mama Medulla. Mama Medulla. break my medulla, mama medulla. Of all things, if I can, since I realize I do have a second backup one, and I'm thinking about going live on both TikTok and YouTube at the same time going forward. Yeah, this way I can experiment with going live on 2 platforms at the same time just to practice. Of all things, I'm not quite sure how to go live on TikTok, but it's something I'd love to try someday. I actually gone live on that before, but it's been a long time. Of all things, I don't really have very many plans to go to Vegas, except maybe to see the Death Valley at some point, and the Tower of Terror, and like the Tower of Terror Museum. Not the Tower of Terror Museum, but the Tower of Terror Exposition. That's actually like that's a homebrew fan thingy, a homebrew fan Tower of Terror Exposition. That's actually open that's actually open by appointment, and during Halloween, so I'm probably gonna drop by like maybe next year, maybe sometime in the spring, just to see the Tower of Terror Museum. That's something I'd love to do. Not the museum, but the Tower of Terror showcase. Other than that, unfortunately, I don't have like a very strong desire to go back to Vegas. Mama medulla, mama medulla. Oh yeah, our work is not complete without the Hollywood Tower Hotel. So here it is, the Tower of Terror and Minnie Mouse. Aww, that's too funny saying me. I just noticed that my cat was meowing. Yeah, what cat do you have? If you don't feel comfortable saying, it's okay. Mama medulla, mama medulla. And here's the medulla, the Hollywood Tower Hotel, aka Medulla. Whoop. The mighty medulla. And I'm also in October. I'm gonna be doing a do-it-yourself Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween birthday bash, birthday bash / party. I'm also gonna be throwing a Tower Terror themed party on my Tony Tower YouTube channel. Oh, that's so adorable. So not the straw Maine Coon right now. I used to know somebody with a Maine Coon. Oh, I really do miss the kitty. Hey kitty. Meow. Meow. Hey Alexa, can you please play cat meowing sound? Can you please play cat pawing sound effects? Aw, Tiggle. And he's like the animal. I'm curious what makes Tiggle like Tiggle. Oh wait, I don't have an Alexa. Oops, I forgot. Alright, after this, I do unfortunately have to go, just because my voice is getting a little sore and bleh. And also I do have to turn the air conditioning on. Unfortunately I do have to turn the air conditioning on for a little bit, just because it's gonna be because it's so hot and it's gonna be so noisy. When it's turned on, it's gonna be so noisy. Yeah, sometimes once it gets like over 77, like over 80 to 70, over like 8 degrees inside, that's when I turn the air conditioning on. Like over 80 degrees, that's when the air conditioner goes on. That is so wild, Amy. It's wild how you get a cat. The drawing does look like the cat. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, I really want to thank everybody for being here today. I realize that's kind of a shorter stream today, just because I gotta get the air conditioning cranking for like a few minutes, and I gotta get my voice a rest. So we'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here, as we do even more live art. So see you, everybody, and have a wonderful day. Hopefully my voice is a lot better by tomorrow. So see you then. Bye bye. You're very welcome.